Let the celebration begin. With 4 titles in the last 8 years, the run is not done.
Green reportedly threw a punch at Poole.
Steph Curry was forced to leave last night's game with what initially looked to be a left knee injury.
Andrew Wiggins is gone indefinitely due to a family matter.
So as far as future goes, I don't know, but also an understanding that this is a business.
It might be over, innit? After winning an iconic championship run from the Golden State Warriors in the 2022 season, they went through a forgettable journey in their following season. Let's start off with pointing out the elephant in the room. The Warriors underwent various problems, from Wiggins' absence because of his father's health, Anthony Lamb accusations that enraged the whole fan base, or GP2 dishonest trade from the Portland Trail Blazers, who keep him sidelined for a long time after his trade. It all started with the Draymond punch, which set the tone for the whole season. The Warriors tried to solve the situation internally, but the league made it 100 times worse. Draymond and Jordan's relationship is fractured, and tensions can be seen between the two on the court, no matter how much they try to hide it. Draymond couldn't be as vocal and couldn't play his crucial role anymore, which caused the team to fall off drastically on the defensive side. Look at the standing right here. The Golden State Warriors is one of the best teams in terms of the home games, with a record of 33 wins to only 8 losses in the whole season. On the other hand, look at the away record. Wow, 11-30.
Damn!
And the biggest factor to this atrocious record was the unavailability of the Warriors defense specialists. For example, Klay, who hasn't been the same, Wiggins and GP2 absence, or Draymond, who can't coach the team the way that he wanted anymore. At home, the Warriors only allowed less than 33% from three-point range, but they conceded 41% from the three-point line in away games, which translates to the worst three-point defense in the NBA this year. So only through the eye test, we could easily say that even with the talent of Stephen Curry carrying his team on the back every single night, the Warriors had no chance to win the chip that year. The season is over. We won with the squad last year, so let's run it back. Right? Right?
Big news new this midday. Golden State Warriors general manager Bob Myers is stepping down.
Bob Myers, a 12 years tenured Warriors general manager who practically built this dynasty from the ground up, has decided to step down from his role. When he first started, the starting lineup was Stephen Curry, Monta Ellis, David Lee,
and the rest are nobody.
They won a whopping total of 23 games, which were equivalent of only the 13th seed. It was only the second worst season for the last decade for the Warriors, and as soon as Bob Myers sat down, he started cooking. The first thing he did was drafted Draymond Green, completing the assembly of the greatest trio in the basketball world. The game 1 goes up from 23 to 47, which is more than double than the first year. He has found his trio to build around for the next decade. The next thing is he acquired the clutchest man on earth.
I want Iguodala.
Then signed the smoothest mid-range operator Sean Livingston, and also signed the most hated coach by this fan base, Steve Kerr. Well, success didn't wait long, and only after 3 years from being the 13th seed, the Warriors got their first ring in 2015. I think if there is one thing that his mom didn't teach him, it's not to be greedy.
It's Golden State for Kevin Durant.
That is the weakest move I've ever seen by a superstar. I lost respect for him.
He created the first ever super team. The Warriors were on the top of the world, being one of the most inspirational teams in NBA, and then turned into the most hated in the history of the sport. Despite all the noise and hatred, the Warriors still showcased their fan with the best basketball display we have ever seen. They have made the NBA Finals for 5 straight seasons, holding the most wins in the season with a 73-9 record, and in the process also won 2 more rings. They were unstoppable. The only reason that the team dismantled is because of injuries. We all know how the Warriors terrified the NBA by signing DeMarcus Cousins as well, and make a first Big 5 ever, but fell short to the Raptors because of all the injuries. This posed the question, what if KD, Klay, and DeMarcus Cousins weren't injured? Will the Warriors continue terrorizing the league with the super team?
I guess we'll never know.
Golden State then fell into a dark place, where everybody's leaving and injuries from star players were piling up. Draymond couldn't lead the team by himself, but not to worry, the savior Bob Myers worked his magic again. He first acquired D'Angelo Russell in the 15-win season and played the long game. He built his value up, being the first option of the team in Curry's absence, and his master game worked. He then robbed the Minnesota Timberwolves for Andrew Wiggins and some picks, which then turned into Kuminga, in exchange for Russell in 2020, which has been a defensive anchor next to Draymond and also has been one of the main contributors for the team's success. And the next year, Bob found a gem in Jordan Poole at the 28th fake. For the first 3 years, Jordan was just known as a player spending his time with the G League, and people were out there calling him a bust. Bob and the team never waived their confidence in Jordan, and it paid off. We all know what happened next in 2022.
When I was out, you know players say, they always ask that innocuous question, what did you notice when you weren't there? You know what I noticed?
The Warriors has done the impossible. After having media analysts saying that the dynasty has fully closed or they have no chance to win the championship again, they have proven everybody wrong, making them look like clowns. Nobody believed in the Warriors except the Warriors themselves. Bob Myers definitely deserved a big piece of the pie thanks to his mastermind and his decisions to get Wiggins and Poole, as well as his scouting skills to get veterans on the minimum like Nemanja Bjelica or Otto Porter Jr. Draymond sums it up perfectly.
And can somebody give Bob some credit?
Bob Myers deserves all the credit he gets. Unfortunately, every happiness has come to an end. Bob Myers stepping down has been a shock to every star veterans in this team like Steph, Clay, and Draymond, as well as leaving fans in a state of disbelief. To recap what has happened, the founder of the Warriors Dynasty has stepped down, Poole has now been traded to the Washington Wizards for a grandpa with constant knee pain, and we don't know what the hell Draymond is planning to do. We also don't know when Stephen Curry's prime is going to stop, and his father's time is going to catch up to him soon. The Warriors' future remains an uncertainty. None of us could predict what lies ahead. Despite all these adversities, don't forget about the assets that the Warriors have acquired during their two-timeline plan. While trying to continue building around the greatest trio of all NBA history, the Warriors have drafted and developed some great franchise caliber players like the high-flying Jonathan Kuminga and the Mr. Always Bring Ready Moses Moody. They have been proven to be hard-working, talented players with very high ceilings ahead in their career. Let me remind you as well, Andrew Wiggins is only 28 years old, and he is arguably the second best player during the playoffs for the Warriors, just behind Stephen Curry. The Warriors has also appointed Mike Dunleavy Jr., who is going to be a great GM for them, because he was in the Warriors system and knows his personnel very well. And finally, if history has taught us anything, whenever Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green share the same court in the same jersey,
you don't want to see us next year.
Steph told me to tell you to like and subscribe to this video right now. We are going to be the biggest Warriors family on YouTube. Just us.